Okay, so let's dive into some huge news from the world of Westeros. After years of rumors and all these great spin-off shows, the main saga is finally going where it has never, ever gone before, to the movies. And the story they picked? Oh, it's only the one that started everything.
This right here, this was the ultimatum that completely changed a continent forever. It's the foundational myth we're finally going to see brought to life. A message sent by Raven to every single king in Westeros. And trust me, it was not a bluff. That's right. After so much speculation, Warner Bros. Finally made it official at their CinemaCon presentation. And get this, it's not another TV series, this is a full-on, epic feature film. So, what do we actually know about this project so far? Well, the studio didn't just drop a title and run. They gave us some really crucial details. So we've got a working title, Aegon's Conquest. We have a seriously talented writer in Beau Willimon. I mean, House of Cards, Andor, the guy knows how to write drama and political intrigue. And it's all pulling from the same amazing history book that gave us House of the Dragon. This is the origin story of the whole Targaryen dynasty.
But who are the legendary figures at the heart of this continent-shattering story? It really all starts with just one family, and well, their terrifying weapons of war.
You see, this wasn't a solo mission. Aegon didn't show up alone. He arrived in Westeros from their ancestral home on Dragonstone with his two sister wives, the formidable warrior Visenya and the graceful, curious Rhaenys. It's their combined strength that really made the whole conquest possible. And here's where their real power was. It wasn't just in their army, because their army was actually pretty small. No, it was in their 3 fully grown dragons. And if you've been watching House of the Dragon, you'll definitely recognize Visenya's mount, Vhagar, who was already ancient even in that show's timeline.
But the most feared of them all was Balerion, the biggest dragon in the history of Westeros. His fire was so hot it could melt stone and steel like wax, and his shadow alone was said to be big enough to swallow an entire town.
And this, right here, is the key to understanding the whole thing. The conquest wasn't really a war, it was a technological mismatch of epic proportions. I mean, what chance does an army with swords and shields stand against that kind of aerial assault?
Okay, so let's get into the campaign itself and see how this all played out. I mean, how do you actually conquer an entire continent with a relatively small force?
He basically simplified a continent-spanning war into this brutal but incredibly effective strategy. It left almost no room for negotiation and just proved his absolute resolve to unite all 7 kingdoms under one ruler, him. This was the only time during the entire war that all 3 dragons were unleashed at the same time. The combined armies of House Lannister and House Gardner were just decimated. In fact, House Gardner was completely annihilated, just gone. A pretty stark warning to anyone else who is thinking about defying the Targaryens.
All right, so let's get our bearings. Where does this monumental event actually fit in with the shows and the stories that we already know and love?
As you can see, this new film is ground zero. It's the very beginning of the Targaryen story in Westeros, happening about 130 years before House of the Dragon and a full 300 years before the original Game of Thrones series kicks off. Yeah, this event was so foundational, it literally reset the calendar in Westeros. So this isn't just another prequel, it's the origin story for the entire political world we know. It's what established King's Landing, it's what created the Iron Throne, and it set the stage for centuries of Targaryen rule.
But, with a story this massive, why tell it as a movie instead of another multi-season TV show? Well, it seems like the creators have a very specific vision for this.
So, while a TV series could really dive deep into all the political maneuvering of the 2-year war, it sounds like a feature film is just better suited for the sheer scale and spectacle of the conquest itself. It lets them focus on the epic, foundational moments, the big battles, those ultimatums, and the forging of a kingdom.
And this comparison to Dune tells us everything we need to know about the studio's ambition. They're not just aiming for a simple action movie. They're going for a true cinematic event that captures that monumental, almost mythic feel of this moment in Westeros history.
So, with the news now official, the fan base is, predictably buzzing. The theories are flying, the excitement is through the roof, and of course, there's the dreamcasting.
And of course, the biggest question on everyone's mind is who could possibly step into the shoes of this legendary, almost mythical figure. The first Targaryen king needs an actor with some serious presence.
For years, literally for years, one name has just completely dominated this fan casting conversation.
He's already rocked the white hair in The Witcher, he's been Superman, so Henry Cavill has long been the popular choice. And now, that fan cast is closer than ever to maybe, just maybe, becoming a reality.
And look, there are really compelling arguments on both sides. His screen presence is absolutely undeniable, and he could totally establish Aegon as this uniquely powerful figure. But book purists might argue he doesn't quite fit the physical description. And then there's his busy schedule, right? He's got franchises like Highlander and Warhammer that could be a huge hurdle.
And this really leads to the biggest question of all. While a movie promises this epic spectacle, it also faces a huge challenge: trying to condense a continent-spanning, foundational myth into just one feature film. How do you tell the story of a 2-year war without losing its impact? This is going to be a major turning point for the franchise, bringing the world of Westeros to theaters for the very first time. I guess the only question left is, can a single film truly capture all the fire and blood that forged an entire dynasty? We'll have to wait and see.